appreciate that very much. Sometimes any chocolate will definitely. Yes, they're gone. They're off the app now. Yes. So now
Who's ready to go?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, Dan.
Test. Oh, go
1,
ahead.
2, 3. Testing, testing.
Okay,
Test 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
okay.
Test, 1, 2.
Testing 1, 2.
I can get louder when the time comes.
All right, and Marie?
testing 1, 2.
Okay,
You're on.
Testing 1, 2.
and is somebody available to go? Yeah, I'll come down, actually.
Diane's doing it. Thank you, Diane.
Is it on? Testing, testing, 1, 2.
So, do you have Russ called in, or?
Yeah, Russ is here.
Okay.
1 minute.
Okay, for those in the audience, the mic is here for you if you want to make comments before the meeting or after the meeting. It's already on. Please don't hit it. Don't blow into it. It's on. It's tested. You can tilt the mic up or down if you're taller or shorter, but speak directly into the mic. You should hear yourself coming out of the speakers, okay? If you can't hear yourself, we can hear you, and they sure can hear you out in TV land, okay? Thank you very much.
Okay, with that, I'll call the meeting to order, and we'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Kevin, determination of a quorum?
Good morning, Jeff, board, and Summer Glen. Yes, we have a quorum with 6 board members present and 1 Russ calling in. And the meeting was noticed in accordance of Florida Statutes 720 and the Summer Glen governing documents.
Thank you. So next up is we have resident input on agenda items. And again, I remind everyone this time at the beginning of the meeting is for agenda items only. I see one item on here is not on the agenda, but that person is welcome to come up and speak at the end of the meeting when we open the floor after the meeting is adjourned. So with that, start off with Diane Doan.
Good morning, Diane Doan, Lot 559. I am up to speak about 3 things. The first one is the reflectors that F&G has proposed to go up 154th. And I was challenged by someone here to drive at night and see if your headlights would actually shine on the curbing where we had proposed. And it does. So I would appreciate that. And this is for our safety for the community too, because the road curves a lot, and also you've got people coming in here for the restaurant who really don't know at night. And of course, the lights that we have on 154th are really aesthetic, and they don't shine very well. light it up. The second thing is, what was it now? Oh, yeah, thank you, the fitness center. Blah. I want to encourage the board to please follow F&G's recommendation. I know there is equipment in here that needs to be replaced, that is a safety hazard, but at this point, we are suggesting that what we have suggested is all the equipment we're of the mind that piecemealing is not the way to go, is get it all, we've bought this equipment, it's been replaced in 2026, and then move on. And the third thing is the mulch that is up for proposal, and I ask the board to please approve that. The landscaping is badly in need of mulch. They've been chasing after the weeds to keep the weeds down, and especially in your cul-de-sacs. Those have been hit hard, and we need mulch in those as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next up is Chuck Basho.
Hey, Kev. Hey, we're on a first name basis now. Chuck Basho, 720. Yeah, I'm like Diane, got the same two things. Number one, the fitness equipment. My wife and I use the equipment. It is unsafe. It is broken pieces in there. Needs updated. It's earmarked for 27. We have $2 million in reserves. Why wait? Just do it this year and get it done with. It seems like a no-brainer to me. Second thing is the reflectors. Like Diane, I've done my research. I've done some thought process. I don't think we need 200 reflectors. I think 50 would do. And if you did 10 per intersection, that's on each side, 5 each on each intersection. There's 2 intersections on the main drive and the one going in. I think that'd be like 30 reflectors. And with adhesive, Marie mentioned using the epoxy and putting it on the sides where the mowers wouldn't hit them when they're mowing would be a great idea. It'd be a minimal cost. Just do it. What else was there? What else did Diane mention? I'm sorry. Mulch. Driving in, thank you, Diane. Driving in around the trees, I had an oak tree where I used to live, and it has the little up roots that come up and the sprouts and stuff. I mean, it's unsightly as you drive in and out. Even put a border around it so the mulch doesn't float off, or pine bark, wherever you use, and just maintain it correctly. And those 3 common sense things, I think, would benefit the community overall. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so that concludes resident comments at this time. Next up is management update.
Good morning, everybody. We have a town hall meeting set up for Monday, May 18th, 6 p.m. Marion County Commissioner Zalek is going to, and his team is going to come visit us. They're going to be covering road improvements, growth challenges, farmland preservation areas, and more. We've asked them to, of course, focus on our area and how we're impacted with 484 and everything else surrounding us. So we'll be getting notices out for that, but just put that on your calendar for Monday, May 18th. Regarding the restaurant's permit status, so I'm staying in touch regularly with Benmar Construction, and it's basically the permit is making its way through the process. So far, 6 departments at Marion County have passed it. 7 more departments still need to review it. So we're just kind of at the mercy right now of Marion County, the restaurant, and we have done all we can at this point. So as soon as it makes its way through the process, then hopefully we'll get notice sooner than later, and the restaurant can proceed with getting their liquor license finalized for the patio and put that issue behind us. One other thing here. The parcel purchase will be coming up later on the agenda, but John Carpenter, Marie, and myself, we met up with a sign company out there. Was it Yeah, Sign Crafters, who has done our street signs in the past. We met up with a gentleman out there basically to get an idea of like what will we be talking about if this parcel has to go away and for some reason we can't preserve the existing sign. So we're looking at other alternatives, something like the Wawa sign across the street. Of course, this would all get worked into our negotiations where we would be expecting Marion County to basically get us a new sign as part of the deal. So we're just getting that process rolling. When we get more information and get further down the road, we'll keep everybody updated. We also have a meeting scheduled with the high school principal. Brad, Marie, myself, and a board member will meet coming up. I think we're scheduled for next week. Just an introductory meeting, just to kind of say hello, and you know, we can talk about some things. No deals will be made, but we'll just kind of have a friendly introductory talk and stay in touch as things progress, so we have a good line of communication. And that's it for now.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Kevin? Follow up.
Oh, one question, Kevin. On the restaurant side, we had a kind of like semi-approved discussion with some agreed-upon commitments. One of that included rent at 1%, up to the 10th of the following month. Has that been met yet?
Yes, it has.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Just a little follow-up on the contractor we're using to get the permit through for the modifications that were done in the server area in the restaurant. They've been doing a great job of keeping Kevin updated. We get at least a weekly update from them. It is very frustrating, the bureaucracy. There are 13 different potential review touch points, different departments and whatnot. Fortunately, for this particular one, 4 of them are exempt from it. They don't even need to get involved. But one thing I did notice, the tree review, whatever, tree zoning people or whatever, they approved it. And I don't know what the tree zoning had to do with it, but they approved it, thank goodness. So it's moving through the process slowly, but it is moving. The other topic, hopefully everyone has had the opportunity to visit and enjoy the beautifully newly enhanced Veterans Memorial Park through the generous donation of Gary Skogsberg Sr. and the work performed by Lorelei Cuevas Lawn Services. Visitors to the Veterans Memorial Garden can now enjoy a handicap-accessible paver walkway leading to the Memorial Garden, along with park benches lining the new paver patio area. New plantings, river rock, and decorative curbing have been added as well. Thank you to Gary for his generous donation and to everyone involved in this project. This enhanced and expanded area is available for everyone's enjoyment and is part of the common area maintenance of the community. So thank you, Gary. We really appreciate your donation.
Thank you, Gary. Good job.
Can I add 2 cents? Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to officially donate this to the community. And, you know, I want everybody to enjoy it and take the time. And it's been a pleasure, a calling to donate it. So thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Gary. Good job.
Okay, next up, we'll go with the committee liaison reports. Let's see, we'll start on my left. So, Bill, you want to liaison report?
No, I have no report.
Nothing to report, okay. Bill?
Most of what I have with the social committee is already being addressed later in this meeting, having to do with 2 resignations and 1 application. Just to add to that, there's since been 2 candidates surface for the openings on the social committee. So that's, we're looking forward to that. But the Design Review Board, in their last meeting, reviewed 27 applications. 3 trees on the common ground that were removed last spring will be replaced after April 1st, designated spots to be determined. Monthly meeting with United Landscaping for cross communication and projects. And the DRB attends the F&G meetings for continuity on projects of common ground. Monitoring removal of replacements of trees both on residential lots and common ground. Residents need to allow time for DOB review except in emergency situations. And also Florida Statute 720 was reviewed for continued compliance.
Okay, thank you. John?
Good morning, everybody. The month of December has been closed out. Last Friday on the update, the normal financial summary was on the update. The month was better than we thought. However, unfortunately, it wasn't enough to offset the 11 months, and we ended up about $50,000 in the hole. Our cash position is strong and good, so we have no issues with that. The main reason, again, was we had some excessive streetlight costs that will continue, but hopefully we've budgeted better for that in 2026. We did have some additional costs related to the restaurant meeting codes and certain required repairs. Hopefully that has diminished to a minimum amount in 2026. Obviously, the golf course daily play was less than we anticipated, and that affected the results for the year. Going forward in 2026, we budgeted the daily play, which is a big part of the revenue for the golf course. We budgeted based on 2024. So I think there's a good opportunity now that we have a really, I think, very experienced golf pro in charge. We should be able to exceed that going forward, weather depending. No hurricanes, no more cold fronts coming through. Keep in mind, in 2024, half the year had no restaurant. The other half had a failing restaurant. This year, for the whole year of 2026, we have a more successful restaurant, which should make the daily play and the golf activity stronger and better. We did end up paying some taxes. We only pay tax on interest and dividends on our investments. This past year, we earned approximately $104,000 of interest and dividends, the highest we've ever gotten in the last 4 or 5 years, but it did cost us $20,000 to $25,000 in taxes, which haven't yet been filed, but it's in the December P&L. Does that mean we don't have to manage? Absolutely not. We have to continue to manage our expenses. We have to continue to do better. I think there's some questions that are going to go continually to Kevin and his staff to explain certain things that may look out of whack. Kevin, be prepared to do your best to respond to those. But I think it's important that we ask those questions and we get some good answers so we can manage our expenses better. There are some that are controllable. There are some that are not. But I think the more we're aware of it, more questions we ask, the better we can do to maintain our expenses in 2026. So that's important. If you have any questions, I'm always available. Cubby 368, leave me a note. If you do in the next couple of weeks, I have something coming up that may keep me out of touch for a week or two. So if I don't get back to you and you leave a note next week, please understand. But I certainly will get back to you as soon as I can. But it's important that people ask questions. We always invite people to our finance committee meetings. We don't get a lot of activity. We get 1 or 2 visitors occasionally. But I understand that some people may be uncomfortable. So if you'd like to meet with me, I always make myself available, and I will certainly do my best to explain either the budget process or the expenses to the best of my ability. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Tom.
Jeff, if I might, just as a comment as to Tom's comments there, without a full-scale report on golf, but a very interesting item on the golf end, Tuesday. Brad told me he had 170 players on our golf course Tuesday. The lion's share of them were outsiders paying full rates. He ran out of carts at noontime, and the afternoon wave was delayed maybe a half an hour. No real big deal till they could get enough carts in to recycle them. Turnouts like that inevitably will have a very significant positive impact on the overall outside revenue compared to the budget. So if he can keep that going, it's going in the right direction.
Yeah, we're off to a great start for the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we budgeted very conservatively on the daily play and with what's going on. And matter of fact, January looked better than we've had before. So I think we're going in the right direction, and hopefully the weather will cooperate.
Yeah. But yeah, word is certainly getting out around the county that the golf course is in great shape, and the reviews on Golf Now have been outstanding, and people are starting to come in because they've seen the reviews on Golf Now and want to come and try out the course.
Yeah, Brad said he had a group of, forgive me, 20 to 50, somewhere in range from the villages coming in today.
Well, in addition to the Golf Now reviews, if you had 170 people on the golf course Tuesday, if say some number like 120 were outsiders, those 120 are going to go back, talk to their friends, and that is the kind of things that will continue to have a consistent positive increase. You know, it's very similar to the movie Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come, and it's proven true that if you make this attractive golf course, they will come, and they are so far, which is a very positive.
Right, great. John, do you have any?
Yeah, health and safety, as everybody knows, the Health and Safety Expo was earlier this month. Very successful. They had over 300 attendees, and this room was packed. It was very, and let me tell you, Gary and Lynn Grill worked very hard on this, probably for 6 months to a year to set that up. They really deserve our thanks for that. Summer Dreams, they met yesterday. Keep the faith, the directories are coming soon. They hope to have them in a week or two. So there'll be an announcement when they're available to be picked up.
Okay. Russ?
Russ, any report, Russ?
Yeah, I do. I just wanted to comment that Tuesday I attended the United Landscape monthly meeting with Marie, representatives of Facilities and Grounds and DRB. United had 4 representatives in the meeting. We had 4, including myself, I just listened in. Four people from United in 4 different disciplines. It was a superb meeting. It's an excellent way to keep. We always talk about contract accountability. This group is keeping United accountable, so it's very nice to see. It was refreshing to see the great interaction between our representatives and our community and United. Other than that, we have some CRS we'll be discussing later in the meeting.
Thanks, Russ.
Okay. Okay, next up is reading and approval of previous meeting minutes from January 8th. Anybody want to make a motion?
I make a motion that we accept the minutes for January the 8th.
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion?
No.
No? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes unanimously. Okay, we have no old business, so we'll move on to new business. Item 11A is ratification of the unanimous consent that we had done as a board for ordering the various components to repair the doors in the golf clubhouse building and restaurant. That unanimous consent was for a not to exceed $15,000. So we got it's a long lead time item, so we did it through unanimous consent rather than waiting for a board meeting to get them on order. So we don't have an official delivery date yet, but it is a long lead time item, and hopefully we'll get some confirmation within the next week or so as an expected delivery date. So with that, a motion just to officially ratify the unanimous consent.
I'll move we ratify the unanimous consent.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion?
I hope the door hardware shows up soon.
We all do. And,
Good grief.
but yeah. So this is good, high-quality door hardware. It is definitely commercial grade, so hopefully it'll last a long time once we get it installed. So all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say no. Okay, motion passes unanimously. Okay, next up is item 11B, the rollover of $175,000 CD related to the Spectrum door fee. Tom?
Yeah, we have a CD becoming due the latter part of February. That's $175,000. What that is the balance of the door fee money that we've spread over a period of years. So as the increases occur on the contract with Spectrum, mainly because of programming fees, that we have the cash available. My suggestion is that we roll over the 175 for 100,000 at a current rate, which is roughly 3.7% for 1 year. The balance, which is 75 plus interest, which will be around 80,000, be available during the year to fund any cash balances that we need to use. The rates are dropping a little bit, but 3.7% CDs are out there. That's not bad for 1 year. Again, it's secured money, so there's no risk whatsoever. And just on $100,000, that's $3,700 in interest in 1 year. That helps go to shore up our operating expenses. So we are taking advantage of the current rates. They're dropping a little bit, but that's still pretty good.
Right.
It's much better than it was 3 or 4 years ago, as Bill, you remember.
Yeah, 0.1%, wasn't getting much.
So I would like to make the motion that we roll over 100,000 of the 175 to a 1 year CD at an approximate rate of 3.7% due in February of 2027.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Well, thank you, Tom. I think you've got a handle on this.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say no. Okay, motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Tom, appreciate it. Okay, next up is 11C, Fitness Smith Agreement for gym maintenance. Actually, let me do this the other way around. Let's do the CRF first, then we'll talk about the agreement. So CRF 2025-0014, request for replacement of the fitness equipment, the strength equipment. So, we had this on the workshop. We discussed this is for replacement of all the strength equipment. The total is after the final deal and trade-in credit and shipping and taxes and everything else, the total comes up to just under $26,000. This equipment is in the reserve study. It was originally projected to be replaced in 2027, and the reserve monies is just slightly over $35,000. So the reserves have it more than covered, even though if we do approve this, it'd be 1 year early. But again, longer lead time on this equipment. I think it mentioned somewhere about partial payment needed 8 weeks prior to delivery. So it's long lead time. So it's probably going to be close to mid-year of 2026 by the time the equipment finally arrives. So does anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the CRF.
Not to exceed.
I guess it's, well, we'll say 26,000.
Okay.
Now, I believe part of that, one machine is not reserved. Is that correct, Tom? One machine. Well, we can't
Yeah,
discuss it. We need a second.
I believe one small amount is not included, is not a full replacement. But the fitness room is kind of like a grouped, so I don't see any problem with the whole thing going against the reserve. You know, I just think it's important to make sure that when the equipment is installed, it's tried out adequately, and we're comfortable with how it performs. Obviously, it's new, but new doesn't necessarily mean it's better and more comfortable and people will use it. So we want to make sure that it's acceptable and we've tested it and we're comfortable with how it operates. Again, it looks pretty and it's all new, but sometimes new isn't always better. So let's make sure we're happy with what we get.
Marie and I will bring our gym clothes one day and get in there.
Okay, so motion's been made for not to exceed 26,000.
Russ, comment here.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Russ.
Just one other comment. When we do this, it'd be maybe a good opportunity to clean the carpet as well. So all the equipment will be out of the way.
Yeah, thanks, Russ.
Good idea.
We didn't second it, Jeff. That's my.
That's what I was trying to get to. So can I have a second on John's motion?
Second.
Okay, now we'll open up for discussion.
I'm sorry.
All right, so any other discussion? The one piece of equipment that was originally donated, everybody keeps saying that is an unsafe piece of equipment. Is that something we can get out of there before we, rather than waiting for this new equipment to come and get the one piece of equipment that's unsafe the heck out of there?
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yes.
Okay.
I just want to ask one question. I noticed that a lot of the cost in the CRF is labor, and it's broken out, and I don't think labor is normally taxable. So I'm just questioning to make sure that the tax amount reflects the product amount and not the labor, because the labor is broken out separate. And if it is broken out separate, then normally you don't pay tax on the labor. So I just want to, Kevin, make sure, Marie, make sure that we pay the correct amount.
Okay, so with no further discussion, then let's vote on the motion made before us to approve the expenditure. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Okay, so now we'll go back to item C, which is the agreement for the gym equipment maintenance. So it's in our packet here. The equipment maintenance details what work would be done. This is for all the equipment, not just for the strength equipment, but for the cardio equipment as well. It's $250 6 times a year, every other month, for a total of $16,1250 for the maintenance agreement, for an annual maintenance agreement. So anybody care to make a motion?
I make a motion that we accept the $16.50 for maintenance.
I'll second.
I'd like Kevin and Marie to double check. Normally, that's a labor contract. I think in addition to labor, we pay for parts if they're needed. If that's the case, we need to double check to make sure that we're not paying sales tax when we don't have to. I know it's added in their quote, but we need to double check that. Because if I believe prior bills were labor plus any parts, and if that's the case, then maybe sales tax is not appropriate. Let's just make sure of that. It's not a lot of money, but whatever it is, it is.
And it, certainly if we have new equipment, it's important to maintain it.
Right.
So,
So this will cover the existing equipment, and then it'll roll over once the new equipment comes in, no additional charge. Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, say no. Okay, motion passes unanimously. Okay. Next up is item 11E, which is the request for the reflectors along the main boulevard coming into the community. So again, we discussed this at the workshop. There were some updates made to this. So the cost without shipping and taxes, without shipping and taxes was just under $1,200. The taxes would be another $80, $85. The shipping, the website says you have to double check on the shipping due to the adhesive. It may require hazmat costs associated with the shipping depending on the ship to location.
probably does, yeah.
So we don't know how much, at this point, how much the shipping cost is going to be. So it's probably going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,400 or $1,500 when it's all said and done with the shipping. And then the labor cost to do the installation will be handled by our maintenance staff if approved. So anybody want to make a motion?
Well, I'll make a motion, we accept the proposal.
Okay, seconded by Russ. Okay, so open it up for discussion then.
Did we, I know our roads are private, but is this something DOT, we're doing it within the guidelines recommended by the DOT?
Yep. It's been approved. We don't have to go to the county. We've had it done in the past. We've never had any problems with it, as far as I know, Tom. So we can do it.
I know,
Yeah, and just as a comment, there was, when we originally discussed this, the white color reflector was indicated. That's been updated, so it is yellow, and that follows DOT recommendations as far as placement on the left-hand side being yellow rather than white.
it was interesting, Jeff, to read the original request. The original request was just to paint the curbs on the right side only with white reflective paint. I know they looked at, DRB, I believe, looked at it and thought that was rather expensive. And it switched to reflectors on the left curb. But my own opinion is this is kind of, I don't know. I don't think it's necessary. I mean, I drove in there the other night at 10:30, and my headlights were fine. Maybe I have better eyes, but I don't think the solar lights are that ineffective versus the gas lights. The gas lights were very ineffective,
Yeah.
because most of them didn't even work. But when I moved in, so. I drive in with my headlights, even on low beams. I click up to high beams. I can see fine. I'm sorry. I just don't see the need.
John, I tend to agree with your comments as well. And when the solar lights were put in, they were intended to be marker lights. They were not intended to provide any kind of illumination of the road, nor had the gas been. So I think those arguments are somewhat nebulous. But I never had a problem driving in, and I had the same sort of experience as George. But I think there are some people who struggle a little bit, and for the price that we're talking about here, I don't think it's inappropriate to put them in.
The only comment I would have is, again, I don't see it as a need. It's a nice to have. And right now, with the budget, this would most likely fall under community improvement. It's not a repair or anything, so it'd be most likely a community improvement. I believe there's $15,000 total in the community improvement budget. I think there's going to be other needs for the community that are going to come up rather than wants. So that would be my only concern. I'm not opposed to doing the project, but maybe we put it in next year's budget as far as one of the items that we earmark for community improvement in next year, so it's budgeted rather than being an unbudgeted expenditure this year, or taking money out of the community improvement fund that may be needed for a true need in the community. Just my thoughts on it. Any other comments? Okay, so the motion was for what dollar amount?
It's 16,000, isn't it?
1,500.
1,500?
1,500.
Yeah, plus potential freight on the epoxy.
No. Okay, so with that, I have a vote. All those in favor of the expenditure signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no.
No.
No. So I believe it's 5-2. Dan and Russ in favor, all others opposed. Okay. So again, I suggest we put this on a list of potential projects that we may want to consider in the future, but not this year. Okay, let me get to the next section here. Okay, next up is 11F, which is appointment for a new social committee member, Michael Cardillo. So, Bill, you want to take over there?
Yeah, it's, the committee voted to approve, so they sent it on to the board. And at this point, they had 3 openings, and this was the first application that they received. I know it probably deserves some extra discussion, but that's where it's at.
Well, I make a motion that we accept as candidate for the that committee.
Pardon me?
I make a motion that we accept it. It's got to be seconded.
I'll second it.
Okay.
No.
Any discussion?
I think Mike could do a good job on the social committee, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, with no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, say no. All right, motion passes unanimously. Congratulations, Michael. Thank you for stepping up and volunteering.
And we have 2 more openings too, right?
Yeah, so next up is
Yeah.
11G, is the acceptance of resignation from Donna Meltz from the Social Committee.
I move we accept the resignation.
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, say no. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much, Donna, for your work on the Social Committee.
She was on
Much
there a long
appreciated.
time, and she did a very good job. Thank you.
11H, acceptance of resignation of Leslie Miller from the Social Committee.
I make a motion that we accept Lisa Miller's resignation.
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, say no. Motion passes unanimously. And again, thank you, Leslie. Appreciate your volunteering for your time on the Social Committee. 11I, appointment of Jody Hooley as chairperson for the Summer Dreams Committee.
I'll make a motion to appoint Joe D. Hooley as chairperson of the Summer Dreams.
I second.
Any discussion?
I want to thank Annette Jackson as the past chairman. I mean, that's a very hard committee, I think. They do a lot of, I don't know, it's a busy committee as far as getting that magazine out. They do a lot of hard work, so.
A lot of hard work.
Yeah.
She's been on there a long time.
And she's going to continue on the
Yeah.
board, just not as chair, so.
Yeah.
I want to thank her for her work as we vote on this.
And I like, she did a nice job. Thank you very much.
Okay, so all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 I'm sorry, who seconded that motion? Who seconded? Over here. Oh, thank you,
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah,
Kohler.
Bill
Thank you,
Kohler.
Mr.
Bill did, yeah.
All those opposed, say no. Okay, motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Jody. Appreciate you stepping forward and taking over very important work that's done by that Summer Dreams community. They do a great job of putting out the magazine every month to the community with lots of great articles. Item J, acceptance of the appointment for extending Lila McDougal's term on Summer Dreams Committee for an additional 5 months in order to help out through the July-August issue of Summer Dreams.
I'll make a motion to continue Lee McDougal's term for 5 more months.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Again, Lee's a valuable member of that committee, so it'd be great. We tried to talk her into staying the whole year, but
Only worry about twist her arm for 5 months?
I thought that would, yeah.
Okay. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, say no. Okay, motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. It's much appreciated you sticking around for another 5 months. Okay, item K, United Land Services mulch proposal. So again, it's in our packet. We discussed this at the workshop also. The total dollar value is, get caught up in my papers.
7650.
Yep.
7650, John.
Right. So anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make the motion to accept this proposal.
Okay, seconded by Russ. Open floor for discussion.
My only discussion would be, and I talked to Marie a little bit about it privately, it talks about the monument sign at 484 and mulching it. We probably don't want to put a lot of mulch on that piece of property since they're taking it from us.
Yeah, but that'll
I
be,
think we should put our mulch down here.
yeah, well, that'll be at least a year or two.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's.
Well, it will be,
You know,
but-
Yeah.
the monument sign's still gonna be there, and it's, you know, everybody's first impression of, hey, I need to turn here for the
Yeah.
community. So 2026, nothing's gonna happen concerning the monument sign.
No, but we don't, you know, if we have a limited amount of mulch, we should use it sparingly up there, I would think. Not go crazy.
I'm also asking a question, when you come in on the right-hand side by the golf course, where the ginger looks like the cold weather got it, is that an area that's gonna get mulched?
No, that's not an area that will get mulched, and the ginger will come back. They've already checked it out. We're leaving the dead stuff there to protect it in case we have another freeze. But in a few weeks, when we know there won't be any more freezes, we'll cut all the dead stuff off, and then the ginger will just bounce back. But that is the golf course area.
That's golf course, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
not common.
So that's not gonna be the land,
No.
United's
That's
responsibility?
Cypress, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's golf course or not, because
Oh,
it's
I
on,
thought they put that in though, didn't they?
Yeah, they
yeah,
did.
the
DM
golf
put it
course
in.
put it in, but I'm not sure.
It's
Right.
not,
I'm not
Sure
sure.
it is.
Yeah.
it's not,
One way or the other, it's going to be maintained.
it will be maintained, we're just not
Yeah.
putting mulch there.
Right.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, say no. Okay, motion passes unanimously. We can move forward with that. Okay, next up, 11L, Marion County parcel proposal and legal representation selection. So just to bring everybody up to date concerning the parcel. So as we discussed at the January 22nd board workshop meeting, Marion County has approached Summer Glen Owners Association about purchasing our parcel of land at the intersection of 484 and 20th Avenue Road. This 40-foot by 326-foot parcel is where the Summer Glen sign is located and is very important to help direct people to our community and to our golf course. On February 2nd, the board had video conference calls with potential attorneys to represent the homeowners association during this process, with the understanding that if a mutually acceptable agreement cannot be negotiated with the county, that there is a potential for this to become an eminent domain action on the county's part. So we spoke with Frank Ruggieri at the Ruggieri Law Firm, and also Brandon Marcus from the law firm called Baker Hostetler, and had a chance to ask them questions, their level of experience and so on with potential eminent domain cases. So today, I'd like to have a board vote on selecting who do we want to have represent us going forward in this process.
Well, I think in that meeting we had, I think it was pretty clear that Marcus was extremely experienced in specifically those issues. That's what he was brought into that firm for those kinds of issues. And he seemed like he was extremely knowledgeable, where Gary was going to recommend somebody. Well, that's not what we need. We need the somebody,
Right.
not the recommendation, you know.
I second the recommendation.
You're officially making a motion?
I would make the motion that we accept, I'm sorry, I forgot his first name.
Brandon Marcus.
Brandon Marcus, to represent Summer Glen in negotiations with with Marion County.
Second.
Yeah, who seconded it?
I did, or Bill did.
I
Bill
think
did.
we both spoke at the same
Yeah,
time.
give it to Bill.
John or I think.
Okay. Any discussion on this?
This is important to Summer Glen. The value is really not in a physical piece of land that you could build on. It's the advertising and the exposure that Summer Glen gets for the golf course and our community. And so it's important. And I also believe that we've been advised that it may require a vote of the community, and we really want to make sure we do our homework right, because they're going to take it one way or the other. If we say no, they're going to take it by eminent domain, and we lose our negotiation power to some extent. So we really need to make sure we have an expert advising us appropriately, you know. So I think it's the right thing to do.
Any other discussion? Okay, so motion's been made and seconded to move forward with Brandon Marcus to represent us during this process. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, say no. Okay, motion passes unanimously. Okay, next up is the trifold brochure advertising Summer Glen, something we had done a couple of years ago. It's needing of updating and official printing on nice stock, so it's very professionally done. So it's samples in our packet, as well as pricing for printing costs. So, anyone make a motion concerning the trifold brochure?
I'll recommend that we go forward with the printing of the brochures.
I'll second.
Okay. Now,
How many?
well,
That's the question.
okay. So as part of the motion, can you make a motion for printing how many? There's a quote for 1,000 or for 2,000.
You know, I'm surprised at looking at the difference between 1,000 and 2,000. I would have thought that 2,000 would be less. It looks like it's almost double the 1,000. And once you set up the printer and running, I mean, I've been in the printing business, but you know, you're talking about 440 opposed to 225. You know, you don't want to beat it to death, but I'm just surprised that 200 the 2,000 was almost double the 1,000. That surprises me a little bit.
$10 short.
I was too, Tom, but I think the thing is all set up already, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I think he just has a print job rather than a setup and print. So whoever, all this work that's been done, put it together, somebody's done it and we haven't paid for that. So I presume he's.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably why you don't get the discount there. But I would suggest a 2,000.
Okay.
And hopefully you give away like crazy.
Okay, so the motion's for
2,000?
2,000. So open it up for discussion.
I think we're going to need every bit of 2,000. I think we ought to put this in every Realtor's hand that's got a listing in here.
There is 2 updates that need to be made with the course, re-rating of the course. The yardages have changed slightly. So the yardage from the black tees, the scorecard now says 64.35 rather than 64.82. And the forward purple tees is now 4,030 rather than 47.24. So let's make sure so it matches the scorecards. Any other discussion?
The only comment I would have, we have corrected and conformed the address used on the front of the brochure. But one issue I would like to point out, and I have no idea how to propose it. I got in the car and drove halfway across the community and plugged in this address first into Apple Maps, and Apple Maps took it absolutely dead right to the front gate the way it should have. Then I did this very same thing with Google Maps, and it shows somewhere up about 14th Avenue Road, up above the pond. So I don't know how you get to Google and get them to adjust that, or whether it's even possible, but at least maybe make the people at the front gate aware when people come through that front gate that it's, they don't go up and take a right and head up above the pond. So, but I have no idea how to try and rectify this. It's just something that exists.
Okay, so all those, we already did the vote, right? Yeah.
We did not vote.
We did not vote? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, say no. Okay, motion passes unanimously. Okay, next up on the agenda, item N, is the grease trap riser proposal from Nash. So this is for the grease traps in front of the golf clubhouse and restaurant building. The new grease traps, the grease traps that were installed when the remodeling was done under Hampton. The grease traps are there, but the lids are sitting way down low and water is seeping in when we have heavy rain. This proposal would raise each of those lids by, I believe, 8 inches. So there's 5 different lids and manhole covers that be raised up by 8 inches. And the proposal was for $1,995 to do that.
I make a motion that we accept their bid, not to exceed $2,000.
A second, anybody?
I'll second.
Okay. Second by Bill Kohler. Any discussion? No? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, say no. Motion passes unanimously. Okay, next up, item O, the Finance Committee Charter Revision. So Tom, I'll let you walk us through this.
Yeah, what we attempted to do, and the Finance Committee is an important committee. Number one, it's an area where people who want to learn about the running of Summer Glen, the financial side of it, this is an important committee. It also is a breeding ground for potential board members in the future. So I think it's important. We didn't take anything out, really. What we did was add and rearrange the items. I think what's important to understand that we're not an audit function, we're a review function. Bill would understand this. Bill and I both come from similar backgrounds.
Right.
And this really is a review function. They should understand the reserve studies. They should understand our insurance policies. For example, years ago, we didn't have a environmental policy. We didn't have a policy in case somebody hacked our system and so forth. These things are not costly, but are important. So it's important for people, especially in the Finance Committee, to understand these things. They also should be in a position to ask questions when something materially doesn't look right. I can tell you they did propose some questions to Kevin's staff recently about why we've increased our payroll over the last 4 or 5 months. Those things are important. It's not about who's working and who's not. It's the number of people. Are we managing overtime correctly? Are we getting what we're paying for? So we ask the right questions, and this is what I think the Finance Committee should do. We also get a certified audit by a professional firm that specializes in HOAs. And I have to tell you, there's more business out there than there are HOA firms geared towards that. As a matter of fact, I was told that in the beginning of the year, they had a waiting list of 30 or 40 people that wanted them to do the work. They don't have the staff to do it. They do a review. They also make comments in what is called an internal control letter. Bill, you're familiar with that, I'm sure.
Of course.
And it's important that people in the Finance Committee see that and understand that maybe there's some improvements that we could make that secures our operation better. I can tell you that we're just learning about, even though we've had Golf Now for a while, we still are learning about Golf Now, and there's some things that may not be as consistent and correct as possible, but we're learning. These are things that I think people on the Finance Committee should be involved in, asking the right questions, not nitpicking debits and credits. That's not what they're there for. They're there for asking the right questions when material things differ and getting answers. So that's what the adjustments, the red line items are attempted to do, to present to a group the ability to manage and understand the running of an HOA. And I can tell you, it is complicated. Okay, you got accounting rules. You've got 720 rules from the state of Florida. Sometimes they don't always agree. So you've got to, deal with all those things. So it's important that we understand the running of an HOA, okay, to help not only our management company, First Service, but also the board in better ways to handle certain things. And that's our attempt to do this with these various adjustments. Obviously, the reserve study is important. First, I would think also Facility and Grounds, who takes part in the reserve study, should also be familiar with items in there and so forth. It's helpful that as a group we all understand those things. So that's what the adjustments, they're not taking away, we're adding clarification of how to operate as a committee and an arm of the board. They have no spending authority. We did not change that. They can have conversation with the FSR staff, but they're not in a position to say, do this, do that. It's a recommendation to the board if they see something that maybe could be improved upon. and that was our attempt in this.
All right, so you want to go ahead and make a motion?
Pardon?
You want to go ahead and make a motion then?
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the new charter as presented with the additions redlined in.
I will second that, certainly.
Okay, any discussion, any questions?
Yeah, I'd just like to add on to Tom's comments. One thing about serving on the Finance Committee typically is it does bring folks who get involved much closer to understanding all the nits and grits of what goes on in the day-to-day operation of the Finance Committee. And over the years, and certainly, Lisa, the 10-plus years that I've lived here, a significant number of directors have come from the ranks of previously served on the Finance Committee, and they come to the party being at least tangentially involved in many things that the typical homeowner has, no idea
Right.
that they even exist. So it's an important committee for that, as well as the hands-on work that the committee does itself. And, and your comments about the accounting firm that we have, I think are right on, Tom, and it's, back when we first hired them, they were instrumental in coming to a common sense result to the question of whether the door fee from Spectrum was a taxable event, which of course it is not, but our previous CPA couldn't get it through his head that was the case.
Any other comments?
I particularly like the bullet about the written variance reports and minute meetings to the Board of Directors monthly. I think that's, for a non-finance guy like me, that it's important to see their summations in their reports.
You could come to a meeting, too.
I have.
I know.
I know. I almost felt, no, I won't say I felt sick. Tom, there's one little thing on the charter, I don't know if you have caught it, I don't know, word processor or whatever, 3-year term.
Yeah, we're fixing that.
You saw that, Kevin. That's all. No big deal.
Okay. All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, say no. Okay, motion passes unanimously. I will make this effective with today's date, and then Marie, once you get this cleaned up to a final document, I'll sign it. Okay, next up is acceptance of Finance Committee Chairperson. Tom?
Yeah, we've actually had a couple of people during the past year that have been co-chair. Steve Prevet has stepped up and has kind of taken the informal lead, and I believe has done a good job. He now and his staff, the other committee members, have recommended him to be the permanent chair of the Finance Committee, which, of course, I support.
I second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, say no. Motion passes unanimously. Congratulations, Steve. Appreciate you stepping forward. Okay, next up is the golf employee play policy. So this involves those employees that work in the pro shop or as rangers out on the golf course to have a formal policy defining what they're eligible for as far as complimentary rounds based on their hours worked.
This was written by Brad.
Yeah, Brad wrote up. There is one clarification to it. When it talks about one round of golf may be played for every 10 hours, it says any earned rounds of golf will not roll over to the next pay period. There should be one more word there. It should be will not roll over beyond the end of the next pay period. So, they may get their 10 hours in on a Saturday at the end of the pay period. This gives them one pay period, which is pays every 2 weeks, to use that earned round. So that would be the one modification to this, to say that will not roll over beyond the end of the next pay period. Anybody want to make a motion?
I make the motion that we accept this policy.
A second.
Okay, any discussion?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a catch-22. You know, the golf course is struggling. It's got a big negative number, but you also need good people to help manage, have discipline in operating the golf course. And if this helps, and certainly Brad feels it does, limiting it to you've got to be at least 10 hours for one round, 20 hours at least for 2 rounds, and that caps it, no more than that. So I don't think that's excessive. We got to keep in mind that Brad has to manage these people, and it's not. I'm not a golfer, but I can tell you that when you're a ranger and you got to watch your next door neighbor break a rule, and you got to say, "Hey, you can't do that." It takes somebody on the ball to do that. You know, it's like criticizing your next door neighbor. Sometimes you have to do that. So discipline is important. And I think if that helps Brad maintain discipline both in and outside of the golf shop, you know, I could live with the 2 hours, 2 rounds a week for at least a minimum of 20 hours. So I'm okay with that, you know.
Yeah, if you just read the reviews on Golf Now, you understand how important the pro shop employees and the rangers are to how the golf course is perceived. You see a lot of comments about how great the staff was, how they helped them out, even though they had some players that showed up a little bit late. The starter worked them in, and you know, just very important to have that good, strong feedback. So it's good that we have good employees there that represent the face of the golf course and make it a pleasant experience for people to come and visit the golf course and play, including our own residents and members.
And I would suggest that the current group that he has, as a group, is probably as good or better than any other group that we've had over the years. And they do a nice job, and their personalities, for the most part, is terrific, and they provide good service. And one of the things that I discussed with Brad, and he wholeheartedly agrees, when these guys are out playing free golf, they are also still half on duty. They are to be aware of things that they would see if they were at work and report it and seek to fix. So there is some ancillary benefits to having these guys on the golf course.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Well, as the board knows, and the community may know, that I was adamantly opposed to this in the past. We have negotiated, I believe, with Brad to make it quite acceptable, I guess. I kind of agree at this point in time that there's quite a few stipulations in here. They have to play afternoon. It's on they can't make a tee time. They must check in. They must, it has to be at basically available slot that's out there. I think in the past, it was a free-for-all. It was almost an annual membership for an employee, and I think this defines it.
Yeah, puts a formal policy in place as far as defining.
So, yes, we've lost a ton of money, and yes, the homeowners make up that ton of money, but I think this is valuable for our employees. So at this point in time, I think I can support it.
Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, say no. Okay, motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much, everyone. And the last item up on the agenda is the Softball Association 70s Softball Tournament.
This is cool.
So let me, I made some notes here. So the Summer Glen Softball Association is requesting approval for their annual 70s softball tournament. This is open to teams that can field a team with all members above the age of 70 or above. They have been hosting this tournament for 11 years now. Starting this year, the tournament is being memorialized as the Bob Merlano Memorial Tournament, commemorating Bob's significant role in establishing the Summer Glen Softball Association and the many improvements made to the softball field facilities through the fundraising efforts and numerous hours of volunteer services by the Summer Glen Softball Association. Since the tournament does involve entry fees for outside teams participating in the tournament, our facilities use policy does require board approval for events with outside ticket sales. So therefore, it's on today's agenda for approving to hold this event once again this year.
Do we don't have a date?
March.
It is March 30th.
Yep.
April.
So through
Through
April
April.
2nd. It's this.
Right.
They're planning on having 8 teams here. It's a double elimination tournament. So it'll be March 30th through April 2nd.
I'll make a motion that we approve the tournament.
I second that.
Okay. Any discussion?
Yeah, I think it's important that after some discussion over the past year with the softball association, that they're meeting the requirements of our documents
Right.
as far as establishment. We've been kind of loose on that over the years. We have a way to go yet. But the appropriate thing is the softball association has met the minimum requirements that protects the HOA from any kind of issues that could arise with the state of Florida and so forth. So I think that's important, and I'm okay with this tournament going forward because they are running the business correctly. We've got some other groups that we need to talk about going forward, but they are conforming, and that's a good thing.
Any other comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, say no. Okay, motion passes unanimously. Looking forward to the 12th one and the first one that's memorializing Bob Merlano's efforts here in the community. With that, I'll open it up for director input. Tom, do you have anything?
Yeah, I just want to say that I think going forward, we're starting to focus on some things that need to be cleaned up. Communication, obviously, some activities with different clubs are being focused on correctly. You know, the important thing is the HOA and the board need to make sure things are being done appropriately with various committees. As a matter of fact, we are getting an internal control letter from the CPA firm that's going to specifically say in the past we have not been doing what we should be doing with committees that handle funds. And so to protect the HOA, because we have no activity, I have no idea what any committee that does collect dues.
Clubs.
Clubs, rather, whether or not they're meeting their requirements legally, even though our documents now say they must do certain things. So I think we're getting better on that, and I think we have some things we have to clean up, but it's for the protection of the HOA and the board that things be done right. If you operate out of your garage, it's your responsibility, but when you operate within the HOA, certain things have to be done appropriate, and we're responsible for making sure that happens, as well as First Service. And I think we're now going in that direction properly. So I thank everybody that's been involved in that, because it's sometimes not an easy task, as we know.
Okay.
So thank you.
John?
No comment.
Dan?
No comments.
Bill?
No, I've got nothing.
Bill?
Yeah, I would like to bring up something about the
the dog park situation that we have. The condition of our large dog park in general has just become atrocious. The surface is, all of the sod, such as it existed, has gone. So it is now just a very, very rough mess of loose, sandy soil. It hasn't been that way in the almost 11 years that I've been here. It is by far the worst condition it's ever been in, and there's never been any attention paid to that. And I don't know whether that is, it's been just a combination of bad inattention from Floralon when they were here and they had some maintenance responsibility, or there are more larger, more active dogs running around, or it's just the inevitable wear and tear of having nothing done at all in the last God knows how many years. So I think somewhere along the way here, we need to address that problem and say, if there is anything practical going to be done or not, and get that to rest, or come to some idea of just, where we can go from there. But it's a horrible looking situation now, if you've ever been down there.
All right, Russ, anything from you?
No, I think Russ dropped off.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
sorry.
All right, no problem. Okay, we have a board workshop scheduled for Thursday, February 26th at 9:30 a.m. here in the Grand Hall, and then the next board meeting is for March 12th, also at 9:30 a.m. here in the Grand Hall. With that, I'll accept a motion for adjournment.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, say no. Okay, motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much, board members. With that, I'll open up the floor for homeowner comments. Now the meeting is adjourned. Yeah.
Good morning. My name is Brent Wood. I'm a homeowner of lot 916. My concern is our fountain and the lights. And my understanding, they haven't worked since March of last year. I was also informed that there's a Marion County permit required to get this fixed. I got on the Marion County website. Fortunately for us, all permits are public record. I could not find it. Secondly, there's 19 homes that surround that pond. The homeowner specifically picked that area for the ambiance that it presents. And I heard one of the board members came in or made a comment. I drove in the other night. Did we see the lights on? The fountain's working, the lights are not. And my question is there a permit pending? And why is the need for a permit? Because, and not only is that a concern, I have a solution. Because there are vendors here, there are contractors that have recommended not to use, let me see here, incandescent lights, but to use LED lights. They're $50 a bulb. There's 3 lights on that system. It's called a Delta system. And with that Delta system, there's 7 bolts that are subsurface to the water. This is my background, and it's a quick fix. It's been out since March. I don't understand how our only fountain for ambiance has been out since March. So that being said, in verifying that the permit from Summer Glen at Marion County, at marionflorida.org/agencies-departments, it's not there. I've talked to 2 homeowners in that area, and it's been brought up to the HOA and also to the board members, is what I was informed. And my question is, we have a beautiful community. We truly do. And secondly, the people make it. But when we have visitors come in, that should be working. It's really not a complex issue. And lastly, going on 11 months, as a homeowner, I truly don't understand what what the delay to execute 3 LED bulbs with 7 bolts are required, because it does not require, I know for a fact, this system does not require a Marion County permit. And number two, there's vendors such as Doug Charles, who owns Lake and Pond Remediation Incorporated. I talked to Doug yesterday. Doug's not available today because he is stocking fish in Georgia, but he will be back in the next week. And Doug also created another company called Charles Aquatics. And his name is Jeff Jackson, which is the CEO, or excuse me, the president of that company. They're more than willing to come in here to get this fixed for us. And as a homeowner, you know, I'm proud to have people come and visit from up north to come down here and see how beautiful our community is. And the first thing you see is that fountain. And as of the last week, as of Monday of this week, sitting with homeowners, you hear the water running. So it's not an electrical issue. It's not a safety issue. It's probably, and the reason for most of these, either the shelf life have been burnt out or there's a power surge. And that's why certain LED lights are required now per code to sustain or not be damaged during power surges. And we all know in Marion County we get power surges sometimes. So not only did I bring forward a concern, but I have a solution to get it rectified. And that's what I would like to see the board and our HOA to get this handled for us. Because again, in summary, 19 homes surround that pond. And they sit out there a lot of time. If you Google, it's called Paul's Pond. And that's a fact. So I would like to see this one feature that reflects the beauty of our community to get rectified. That's all I have. Thank you.
So in response to you, there is no permit that's been applied for, so that's why you didn't find it.
Okay.
So we have been getting quotes. It'll be on the February workshop agenda
Okay.
to discuss the quotes, where there's some holes in the information provided on the quotes that we're getting finalized. So it will be discussed at the February 26th workshop.
Okay, and that's good information. And secondly, there are other communities, gated communities, 55 plus here in Marion County, that utilize these contractors. And specifically,
Bring that information to me, because, you know, another quote is never unnecessary. It's always great to have. And
Sure.
I'd like to get a quote from them as well. We have the scope, but it's a lot more complicated than you can imagine. But I'd be glad to talk to you about it and discuss it, and it will be in the workshop towards the end of this month.
okay, because and you two gentlemen on the end discussed your financial background. This is my background. And March of last year, I understand there's many agendas and things like that, but this is a simple contractor to come in and fix it out. It's truly that simplistic. Now, how the quotes are maintained, that's another thing, but it's a simple copy and paste. Hey, this is what we're doing. This is my labor. It's $50 a bulb. It's 7 bolts.
Well, first of all, sir, you should understand that after having many vendors check it out, it cannot be repaired at a reasonable amount. There's more damage to it because it's very, very old and it's original to when it was built,
Yep.
this community. So we're looking at full replacement is what we're looking at. And so therefore, that's what we're getting quotes from, and I would appreciate having another quote. So if you could drop that information off at the HOA office, I'll be more than glad to call them in
Sure.
and get that extra quote.
Okay, and full replacement, I don't understand, because this community,
Brent,
yeah,
it's being covered.
Oh.
We're not going to debate it at this time.
okay. Well, I just wanted to bring it to your attention.
Okay, thank you.
And I appreciate your time, and thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Three quick things. Number one, regarding the fitness equipment, being a frequent user of the gym, I want to thank you for approving that and not taking a piecemeal approach. There's a lot of big rust spots and stuff on equipment. So had you, gone a different route, it's like, yeah, you would have been in a year talking about replacing others. So anyway, thank you very much. There are a lot of people that use that gym on a regular basis, and there's been a lot of talk lately. It's like, when are they going to fix this? When are they going to replace that? So I will spread the good news. Thank you very much. Regarding the golf employee play, I know I spoke to a number of you individually since the last meeting. I was one of those adamantly opposed. I'm still not thrilled with it, but like John, I was pleased to see some significant changes to the policy between what was proposed at the workshop and what was presented today. There were more parameters on it. It was not just a giveaway, and it looks like there are policies defined so that it can be hopefully monitored. You may want to consider getting a periodic report from Brad on what exactly is the usage, just so that we all kind of understand. But again, I can live with what was done because there are parameters. It's not just a free-for-all. It's not, hey, so-and-so's going to get 4 free rounds of golf per week, as has happened in the past. So thank you again for that. Regarding the softball tournament, I was surprised and pleased to see that. And there was some comments afterward, and I have sent an email, so I don't know whether the veiled comments have to do with another club that is also having a tournament and selling tickets outside, and I'm hoping that that is being addressed and not just blatantly or blanketly, I should say, being allowed without them going through the proper process. So thank you, Board. I appreciate your work.
Good morning, Rhonda Kessling, Lot 873. Hope you'll grant me the extra time if I need it, like you did the other gentleman. The first and foremost thing I have is the large dog park. Being a member of the large dog park, I'm only speaking for myself and a number of other individuals that go to the large dog park. We have 2 gates at the dog park. The gate at the front of the park and a gate on the side of the park. Someone has put a padlock on the gate that's on the side of the park, and when I've asked about it, the reason I was given is to keep golf carts out of the dog park. Okay, first of all, I've been here now 13 years going to the dog park, and not once have I ever seen a golf cart in the dog park. So I don't know what that's about or if that's even true. But I do know that that second gate, the one that has been locked off now, has been an answer to most, if not all, of our safety issues with our dogs. When you go in the front gate, there's a double gate there. And I would say 90+% of any problems that we've ever had in the dog park occur at that front gate. Dogs line up there, they're anxious to see the other dogs come in, dogs get nervous, and we have a dog fight. Now that we have the side gate, if somebody's coming in, your dog doesn't get along with them, or they know their dog doesn't get along with yours, we're able to leave out of that side gate before that other dog ever gets in. Those of you that don't have dogs, maybe you don't realize the dynamics that go on in there, but I believe those of us in the large dog park have done everything we can to make sure it's a safe environment for all of our dogs. And taking away access from that side gate, I can almost guarantee there is going to be a problem. And I guess I'd just like to know why that padlock was put on there. Why are we not able to use that side gate anymore? Why is it locked off?
I can address that. Actually, that side lock was a mistake. It was an overreaction by maintenance. It wasn't that gate that was supposed to be locked. We locked the small dog park because there was an individual going in with their golf carts, and I just need to get a sign up to make sure that people understand that that's just for, maintenance only. You can't just open that gate, bring your golf cart in, let your dog go to the bathroom, don't pick up after them, and then just exit like nothing happened. That's not acceptable. But that other one was locked by accident. It's unlocked now. We are going, the only thing that we are planning is, I realize there's a lot of yucky dirt, so we're talking to the landscapers about how to give us an estimate to make that a little bit better. And the gates themselves have these springs on them that are all stretched out. So we're putting brand new springs and brand new locking mechanisms that will allow you to push through and come back out, but they will close automatically.
Okay.
They will not be locked. So I do apologize for that.
Okay, great, thank you. We'll all be very appreciative of that. Bill, you alluded to the condition of the dog park. It's atrocious. Like he said, the worst it's ever been in my 13 years here at Summer Glen. If that dog park were at the front of the community, I wouldn't be up here. And that is an important amenity to this community, and it looks terrible. So anything that can be done would be greatly, greatly appreciated. The other thing is the golf for employees. I noticed that the gate was eliminated from that. And in case you don't know, currently at the gate, there are 0 people that golf. We had a very well-qualified employee who came here specifically because he was told that he could play golf for free. And this was the previous board. We hired him, he was wonderful, and then the previous board did away with the golf. He quit. He was coming every Saturday and bringing 3 other golfers with him from Top of the World. That's where he lived. So by eliminating his 1 day, 1 round of golf, we lost 3 rounds at full price. I'm not sure why the gate staff was eliminated from this policy. We are the first people that golfers see when they come in. We are the ones that talk up the golf course when they ask, how's the golf course looking? So I don't know if that's a consideration to amend that policy, but it just seems, it just doesn't seem fair to the other First Service employees who are also working. The other one is the back gate. I've heard there's going to be some kind of bid put in for a scanner. Not exactly sure what that is exactly, but I do know that putting in any kind of entrance into the back gate other than what we have is going to be a safety issue. I'm not sure how we're going to know where they're going. You know, you could put in a license scanner, stick your license in, but then where do we know that they're going?
Excuse me, while you're on that subject, how do you know where they're going when they come in the front gate?
We check their license.
Yeah.
And it gets put into our system. They go through the cameras. We actually talk to them. If you come in the front gate, you give your license.
Right.
We can see, is that Dan Murphy on that license or not?
Right.
If you're going in the back gate and you stick in your license, we don't know where you're going. If you come in the front,
What I'm trying to get to is when they come in the front gate, if they tell you that they're going golfing and they're not going golfing. I mean, you don't know any different.
Well, that is true. If they say I'm going to the golf course, then we are instructed to let them go through after giving their license that they are going to the golf course. What about someone who comes in the back and is just going to, I don't know, going to the golf course or not going to the golf course, and they say,
Rhonda, before we get into a debate on this, there is nothing in front of the board right now to put any kind of scanner in there to allow people to access the back gate.
okay. I would just ask that if there's anything going on that involves the gates, please talk to Marcia or talk to the people at the gate. I mean, I don't, and we invite you all to come up there and sit for a couple hours with us so that you can see what we do up there. You make these policies and rules, and you really don't have any idea what goes on up there. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Chuck Basho again. Just like to comment about this utility down here, 77,000 deficit over the budget. About a year ago, you brought up an idea about getting solar lighting in the community to replace these lights to offset the $100,000 amount we're paying to Seco Energy. And I haven't heard a thing about it. And I went into Kevin's office the other day and I asked, have you seen anything, Kevin? And what was the answer, Kevin?
Refresh my memory on what was your question.
I'm sorry. Sorry to wake you up. That joke, Kevin. Hey, by the way, you look good without a hat. So, you know.
Don't get used to it.
It's the first time I've seen you without a hat.
For state occasions, yes.
Yeah. Anyway, I asked Kevin, and I think Kevin, I want to say something about Kevin, Maria, Lisa, and Christine down there. We are blessed to have these people working for us. They are a crack team. And this is my first experience with HOA, but you've made it a pleasure to live here. And I want to say thank you. But anyway, getting back to what I was talking about, you know, I said, you know, I'm sorry, that was something else. I'm sorry, I was wrong. You know, you're right, it wasn't me. L-timers, old-timers, what do you want to call it. $77,000, and you talked about last year solar, and I thought, that's a pretty good idea, if we can get rid of that cost. Has there been anybody trying to do anything about the solar, getting solar, or checking into it? Do y'all remember last year talking about it?
Yes, we know what you're talking
John, you were there.
No.
Yeah, has anything happened?
No.
Why not?
Well, that's not true. I did talk to a Canadian company that installs solar streetlights. Okay, the cost is very expensive. As a matter of fact, the quote was somewhere around $750,000 to replace all our streetlights with solar lights.
Okay.
Yeah, they can finance it and spread it out, but that's a significant cost. If you're building a new HOA, they're doing things differently. We don't own those poles. They belong to Seco.
Okay.
They will replace them at our request, but we have to replace them with something.
Right.
And solar lighting, commercial grade solar lighting, at least the initial information I did receive was $750,000 investment that you have to agree to pay over a period of time. So at that point, we didn't go much further, to be honest.
Okay, thank you. Okay. But it's kind of like buying a house and making an investment in the solar, and you kind of do the math, and you say, oh, that's going to take us 7 years to recoup the loss, to make up what we paid for it, right?
There's still an ongoing cost. Right now, the street lights, it covers the electricity for the street lights.
Right.
It covers the replacement of all the bulbs, and it covers replacement of the poles as needed.
Okay.
So if you say, okay, we're going to do away with the agreement with Seco to have the street lights, and we're going to put them in ourselves, all of that now becomes a cost. All the Seco cost doesn't go away. So the payback period ends up being probably more in the 12 to 15-year range rather than 7-year range.
Right. Well, I
So
guess,
it just didn't make financial sense to do unless we want to hit everybody with a $1,000 special assessment in order to go out and buy this and take 12 years or more to pay it back.
But I mean, it's fair to say that the cost of energy is not going to go down. It's going to get worse. You know, I mean, you know, you got apples and oranges. You know.
Yeah.
Seco
But it's
does-
preliminary look is it's not worth examining. So that's kind of where it's at.
That's where you're at. Okay.
And Seco has a program to come through and change all of the lighting to LED. It's just going to take some time, but they've already started that in the county.
So there'd be a big saving there. Okay, well, that'd be great. You know, they need to get it up to code, you know. My next thing is entertainment in this community. I've been here a year. I love the community, beautiful. Have a golf cart. I'm living the dream. My wife and I tour the community 4 or 5 times a week, and we just love talking to people and waving, and, all that fun stuff. But the bottom line is, I'm sorry, Alzheimer's again. What was I talking about?
Entertainment.
Oh, entertainment. Thank you. Oh, Jesus. I guess my wife does say I lose my train of thought. Entertainment in the community. If you look at Summer Dreams, if you don't dance here, there's pretty much, it's non-existent. A solution I have, and I talked to Donna Metz last week, and I brought up my idea to her. She says, that's a good idea. You should go in front of the board and address that. And something maybe you can work into the budget for next year is to have a entertainment committee in here and have one person from each club as part of that to make the decisions on what to do and if it's practical to do it. But in order to do that, they have to have a budget. And y'all will have to give them a budget, or the financial committee, whoever does that stuff, give them a budget of either $5,000 a month, which would be $60,000, or $10,000 a month, would be $120,000. And if it's not used end of the year, then at the beginning of next year, it starts back at whatever amount y'all deem accessible. The problem is these clubs do a great job in here, but they have no funds to do anything. And I listened to y'all's meeting, and it was brought up that, well, that's really a want, not a need. They can go outside the community. They can go to Marion Oaks, or they can go to Ocala and go to shows, because one show lost $2,000 last year. If we really give them some money to do a better job in here, and it would give us a better lifestyle in here. Something you can look at and say, okay, on the 15th, we're going to that show, but now it's like, if you don't dance, you don't go to anything. So
let me give you a plug for the social committee. They have openings and looking for people that want to get involved. The social committee is exactly what you're talking about. That's what their charter is.
I joined when we moved in here last year, five clubs. And we attended one thing, and we went to a dance. And it's nothing against dances, but we just don't dance. But there's not really any entertainment in this community. I mean, am I right or wrong? Is there entertainment in this community?
No, we used to have shows in here, and that got pretty expensive. Like you said, they were losing money.
If you don't give them a budget, it's not going to happen.
The social committee does have a budget. Each year, they put together a budget for the coming year, and the board approves it as part of the budget process. So the social committee is exactly what you're asking for, already exists through the social committee, and it's up to the committee members to put together the upcoming year's program and what they feel they're going to need funding for that. So it already exists, what you're asking for. And they're, like I said, they are looking for members, so always looking for volunteers to help out.
I mean, in my mind, it's just not utilized because, I mean, there's nothing going on ever. I mean, I want to go to shows. I want to see a comedy show. I want to see music. I want to see, a dinner theater. Huh?
Get on that committee and...
Well, I'm retired.
Okay.
We all are. Most of us.
I understand. All right, last thing. One last thing. This golf thing here, $651,000, and if you add November's loss, it's like $673,000 last year. I'm an ex-golfer. I had rotator cuff surgery, so I don't golf anymore. I don't have anything against golf, but I have something against $673,000 loss last year. And the $1 million budget that's given every year to the golf. I really think y'all and the community should talk to your friends and your neighbors, because there's a lot of people here who are unhappy about this situation. I'm not anti-golf, but only 10% of the people in here golf, and it's decreasing. When I moved in here, it was 147 members. There's 140 members now. It's on the downtread. And, the bottom line is that a fair amount? And there's options out there. Y'all could make it a 9-hole golf course. And they're going to say, oh, the house values are going to go down and all these other answers. But bottom line, how much is really reasonable for us to lose in this community every year? It's our money. We give $4.8 million a year towards this community. And $1 million of it, 22% of it, is for the golf. And there's only 10% of the people here golf. The numbers just don't add up.
That's why we hired a director of golf, a pro, and he's turning everything around.
Okay.
So you'll see that budget go down.
How much are we paying him?
Not going to divulge that. Thank you very much. Your time is up.
There it goes. There it goes. There
Well,
it goes.
come on.
It's been 10 minutes.
So I had some good things.
We've been.
This isn't a town hall.
Well,
We should
that's the
have
other thing.
town
We should have town halls. We should have two town halls. We used to do a lot of things in this community. I'm told.
Excuse me. I'm going to cut you off here.
Sure.
Thank you.
I
Thank
know
you very
you guys
much.
got to go eat lunch. I understand. But I
The hook's coming next. Thanks, John.
Thank you very much.
All right. Anyone else?
No?
This is a public service announcement from the gate. If you have deliveries coming in, pizza deliveries, Walmart food deliveries, Publix deliveries, it doesn't matter. If you have a delivery coming into the community and you call us to let us know, could you also let whoever's doing the delivery, whatever company, to make sure they come to the front gate? Because I heard somebody earlier talking about, going to the front gate and going to the back gate and seeing where their GPS went. I know that when our former gate supervisor was here, he tried to get Google Maps to make a change for the address and was told there was nothing they could do. I don't know if that's possible, but if people would just remind the delivery service that they need to come in to the front gate, because the back gate, they're not going to get in. Then we get tailgating, becomes a safety issue. And it also becomes a problem for like pizza delivery guys who it takes them longer. They go to the back, they can't get in, they got to go to the front. And we have residents then who are refusing to pay because it took more than 30 minutes. So just as a public service announcement,
Thank you.
to all of you in TV land.
Probably something we can put in the weekly, just as a reminder, residents. I know. It's worth a try.